There are some reports that your son was on this trip with you.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
What was his role?
His role was to be my escort. Usually we invited spouses. Not all could come, but I had him come, and I was very proud that he was there, and I'm thrilled, and it was nice for me.
Did he have any business dealings?
No, he did not. Of course he did not.
The news that came out today relative to the economy. Actually, I just want to say a number. 0. Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation in the month of July. 0%. Here's what that means. While the price of some things went up last month, the price of other things went down by the same amount. The result, 0 inflation last month, but people are still hurting, but 0 inflation last month.
I still think we have a very serious inflation problem in this country. I don't think that inflation problem is going to go away of its own volition. And so I think we're likely to have some quite turbulent times ahead.
But 2 things should be clear. First, the economic plan is working, and second is building an economy that will reward work. Wages are up this month.
We're still seeing for food a jump of 10.9% year over year. That's food at home, 10.9%. Food away from home, a gain of 7.6%.
To pass the Inflation Reduction Act right away. That's the most consequential thing that Congress can do to keep our progress on inflation from getting better, from getting worse, keep it moving in the right direction. It's going to reduce the deficit without raising a penny in taxes on people making under $400,000 a year.
Here's what Americans are dealing with. Eggs are up 38%, margarine 32%, flour 22%, coffee 20%, soup 19%, lunch meat 18%. Can you say today that inflation has peaked in America, given these numbers?
What I can say today is that inflation went up 0% in the month of July.
I also want to thank Senators Tester and Jerry Morgan. By the way, if you're in a foxhole, you want someone with you, you want Tester in that hole with you. Where are you? Kristen Gillibrand and Dick Blumenthal, Representatives Takano and Bost. And
I want to ask you one question, but just please let me ask it, and then I got to go. If you're a border official and you can barely get your job done and people are overrunning the border, right, and you are begging for help on that southern border, what do you say to that Border Patrol official when you are telling them that you're going to add tens of thousands of people at the IRS, but you're not going to go down there and help them out?
You know, I think those are all reasonable issues on the border security. I'm not going to pretend that that is my area of expertise.
Economists look at a measure of inflation that ignores food and energy prices, and they call it core inflation. That's about the lowest amount in several months.
I think what people are feeling like as a personal reaction to the possibility of the doubling of your chances of being audited. Have you ever been audited, sir?
I've never been audited. I actually have a great record in paying my taxes, and I suspect most people who are listening to my voice would say the same thing.
Even people who are
audited.
Yeah, I'm saying most people...
They have to prove their innocence.
Yeah, most people haven't been audited. So look, here's the thing. You shouldn't evade your taxes. I shouldn't ought to have to say that, but there's my public service announcement. It is illegal to evade taxes, and if you do so, you may well be audited.
Do you want to see President Biden, Senator, run for a second term?
Well, what I want to see right now is that the Congress of the United States working with President Biden next year, while the middle class is in decline and lower-income people are really suffering. We need to work right now, next year, with President Biden on an agenda that addresses those issues.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Do you want to see him run for re-election?
Look, right now my concern is electing more Democrats in this midterm election so we can finally address the needs of working families. That's where my mind is right now.
You want to make sure that you're electrified all aspects of transportation. So the president has this goal of getting to 100% clean electricity by 2035 and net zero by 2050. Because Mother Nature is mad. And we have got to lead as a nation other countries to be able to achieve their goals. Lead and show, both from a technology perspective and also from a leadership perspective, that we are taking this extreme existential threat of climate change seriously. And these bills, this 1, 2, 3 punch, allows us to demonstrate to the world that America is determined to be a warrior in the fight against climate change. I'm so happy to be suited up for battle with all of you here. It is a great day to be a warrior against climate change and a warrior in favor of clean energy. Today, your price of gas here, I think, is on average $4.51. That is a huge savings to not have to do that, to be able to use electricity. In fact, the difference can be about, I don't know, $40 per fill-up, maybe even more. So depending on where you are, the bottom line is the cost of driving all in an electric vehicle, especially if you buy the models that are lower, that are more affordable, is a huge savings for people.